At a psychiatric ward, therapist Rose Cotter meets a deeply disturbed patient, Laura Weaver, a grad student who witnessed her professor's horrifying suicide. Laura is terrified, claiming she's being stalked by a sinister entity that takes the form of people with eerie, unsettling smiles. She believes this entity has already decided her fate: death. As Laura's panic escalates, she suddenly becomes unnaturally calm, flashes a disturbing smile, and shockingly slits her own throat right in front of Rose. It's a moment that leaves Rose deeply shaken. The next day, Rose encounters another chilling moment when a patient named Carl begins smiling at her just like Laura did, eerily predicting her death. But when she calls for help, Rose realizes Carl has been asleep the entire time. Her mind seems to be unraveling. Her boss, Dr. Morgan Desai, notices the change in her and insists she takes a week off to recover. However, Rose's horrifying hallucinations only intensify, leaving those around her questioning her sanity. In search of answers, Rose turns to her former therapist, Dr. Madeline Northcott, who suggests that these visions could be tied to Rose's traumatic past. As a child, Rose witnessed the tragic overdose of her mentally ill mother, an event that has haunted her ever since. But Rose feels that something darker is at play, a curse perhaps. Things take a more terrifying turn when Rose attends her nephew's birthday party. As her nephew opens Rose's gift, everyone is horrified to find her dead cat inside the box. Rose's breakdown in front of everyone, coupled with seeing an unnaturally smiling guest, leads to her falling through a glass table and injuring herself. Rose is convinced she's cursed, but her fiancé Trevor thinks she's losing her grip on reality. Desperate to find a connection, Rose investigates Laura's professor's suicide and learns that he too was haunted by smiling faces. With help from her ex-boyfriend Joel, a detective, they discover a horrifying pattern: victims witnessing suicides before smiling and taking their own lives within a week. Rose and Joel visit a convicted murderer, Robert Talley, who survived the curse by killing someone in front of a witness to pass it on. He reveals that the entity feeds on trauma, and the only escape is to transfer the curse through violence. Horrified, Rose rejects this idea. As her hallucinations worsen, the entity begins to appear as people she knows, including her therapist. Rose is pushed to the edge when she drives to the hospital, hallucinating that she kills Carl in front of Dr. Desai, only to snap out of it, realizing it never happened. Rose knows she must face the entity head-on, so she retreats to her abandoned childhood home. Alone in the house, Rose confronts the entity, which takes the form of her deceased mother. It's revealed that Rose's guilt over not saving her mother fuels the curse. As the entity attacks, Rose tries to destroy it by setting the house on fire, believing she's won. But when she flees, she finds herself back at Joel's apartment, only to realize it's all a hallucination. In reality, Joel finds Rose at her old home. But it's too late. The entity has possessed her, forcing her to set herself on fire in front of him, sealing his fate as the next victim of the deadly curse. If you love psychological horror, make sure to hit that subscribe button. There's plenty more terrifying stories like Rose's waiting to send chills down your spine.